All right. Even though Google Workspace does take care of a lot of the controls, since the way we do our CMMC level solution, everything is inside the Google FedRAMP environment for sure. There's still some things we need to do as CMMC compliant to just due diligence and best practices as an organization. So I want to kind of walk you through this SOP for system integrity and kind of how to use that. Now this, I'll scroll straight to the bottom as an example, and you may want to adjust it to your company to make sure it fits for you. But definitely feel free to use this and make with it how you please. First thing is the monthly security review, which this can be weekly, daily, however you want to do it, bi-weekly. Right here we just have monthly again. We have a lockdown to where a lot of these things are automated and controlled by Google, but you still want to keep your eyes on things. So we'll talk about how we have a calendar task set up that reminds us every month to go ahead and check things like security dashboards, reports, and alert centers. All right, and after that, we also have another thing we do where if there's any high priority, again, however you want, we choose high priority alerts. We want to just go ahead and jump on those in a reasonable time frame, and I'll go and explain to you how all this works. Now that you kind of have a look at this, just jump straight into it. Here's, for example, let's say, let's start with the calendar, the monthly stuff. You'll have a monthly task, however you want to set it up, or weekly. Once we decide on that, it's gonna have a built-in SOP that shows you, it's gonna talk about your monthly security audit. You talk about your dashboards, reports, alert. We'll say if there's anything that you see, you want to open up the ticket, close this once you're complete, make any notes, take any actions, and then again, you mark it when you're done. So this kind of is telling you to pretty much go into the security admin console and check these things out. For example, something you probably want to do is go into your straight to the dashboard. First of all, these are the type of things that you look for. Go ahead and put my information in. Right, so here's my dashboard. See, we have set to within last month's about 30 days. My data is currently unavailable because I really don't have anything going on in this environment, and hopefully you don't either if we clean this up right. But you see stuff like encryption. You want to look for anything that stands out. You can review reports. You want to look for anything crazy, suspicious attachments, compromise events. You get the idea. Right. Let me refresh it because this. All right, here we go. So spoofing, everything's zero here pretty much, but you want to review this. If you see anything, you can actually go inside the report and get more details. But we have a lot more stuff to look into. You want to look at your reports. Things like any of these are very important, but a good one to look at is under audit investigation. Yeah, stuff like all these reports. A good one to check is admin log events. This is also a good one to show that you've actually been going through it. This is just a lot of where your proof's going to be to show that you're actually reviewing stuff. So it'll say stuff like, admin viewed the drill down of the security chart. So it shows you that you're actually going through it. So that's a good one to go through. If you see anything crazy here, you might want to check it out. Now, moving on back to security, your alert center, where we're going to end up anyway. You might as well get a heads up on it. You have your highs, mediums, everything like that. So you want to check this out too, right? But we'll come right back to that. Let's say you get an email. I have on mine email set to alerts. So for example, you want to have a process in play. And this is probably your biggest thing when it comes to CMMC level 1 or 2. let's say you run across something like alert for a user deleted. You want to see straight from the email, you'll know who got deleted and who did it in the day. But you can go and get a little bit deeper into that. So kind of open up a case. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So now you have to verify it's you. Now the process should be something like following the SOP we have. You want to assign it to somebody, preferably your admin or yourself if you're the admin. Apply that. Right. And once you do that, the admin should get some sort of email saying that they've been assigned. See, you've been assigned the alert. Go straight back into it. All right. So process, let's say you're in there and you want to, get some details on it. You can investigate. You can leave a comment. You definitely want to put the status at the end. So let's say we want to investigate. We can just go straight into it. Right. You can see user deletion as the event, the date it happened, the description of who got deleted, who did it, and their IP address, which we'll have to blur that out, of course, but you have all that information. So let's say you can take action on it. Let's say, okay, let's restore this user, or let's force a password change. So you want to, take action if necessary, and make sure you document that back in the ticket. So let's go back into the ticket we'll work on. Let's say we decided it was just a test, which it was. Before we close it, you want to put some notes here like test, save it. Of course, it's closed. And you're pretty much done because we did save it. So that's kind of how you want to do that. And I believe that's all you need to know. Just good information to know is how Google does take care of everything. For the most part, this is good reading here. This is your how they protect their data set 24/7. It goes into their 6 pillars of security, their layers. There's a video where they talk about it, and the video is pretty much right here. You can find it on YouTube. Good reading for you. And probably one of the most important pieces would be their shared responsibility. Let me find it for you. This is actually another great piece of information. Their shared responsibility is at the bottom, but through this document, you get a lot of information on how they take care of stuff, encryption, key management, data. It's just, what I want to do is just kind of take you straight to the bottom, through all this other stuff that they do. I know you're seeing all this other stuff like malware and prevention, stuff like that. But here you go. All right. This shows you, depending on how you leverage Google, and the way we do it, everything's inside as a SaaS. So they pretty much handle almost everything that we're talking about: hardware, boot, audit logging, network, web application security, access and usage. Really, access is up to the customer, and that's the main part. But we still want to do our part in being compliant. And let's say at the end of the month, you do what you have to do. You document it, feel good about it, mark as completed. And this will be your evidence to show that you've actually went through it. And again, the admin logs will show that you actually went through it as well. So hope you enjoyed it, and all the best.